Say it again, I'll say it for Tammy. Tammy Duckworth. We have 10,000 people retiring every day in this country. Want to know something funny? A businessman came to visit me in D.C. 3 weeks ago. He had been with Dick Durbin, Senator Dick Durbin, the day before. And we were talking about this stuff. And he said to me, you know what? I was in a private meeting with Durbin, and Durbin turned to me and said, you know what? We have 10,000 people retiring a day. Medicare's not sustainable. And the guy said, well, why don't you say this publicly? And Durbin just clammed up. So they know it. Shame on them. But as a country, we got to grow up. Because you, my friend, right now, my generation, your generation, we're living into our 90s. So it's not like the old days where you retired and then you died in 2 or 3 years. Thank God, because of medicine and technology and the way we're staying more active, we're living longer. So now you got Americans, 10,000 retiring every day, and they're living till they're 92. Good stuff. But grow up, country. We got to figure out a way to pay for all that health care, or none of this will be around for him. And you know what? That means you got to make some tough choices. Yes?
It's not just because I disagree that we're living so much longer. People still die in the 80s, my grandparents.
Well, 80s, that's pretty good.
98, my grandpa. Okay.
Statistically, we're living longer. Much.
Okay, statistically, we're living longer, but I know that my husband's aunt, for example, worked for Western Union. She had a pension when she retired, and she also had medical under that plan. She also worked for 50 years with them. People don't have the stability. They can't get a job. I have all my growing sons are out of work. And that's pretty sad. And my son off for 7 years after graduation. Then got $100,000 in debt advanced fees before he got a job. Now
right.
$100,000 in debt, and the marriage is falling apart. So this is a story all over.
Yes.
And we're competing, against illegals, against, forms.
Against the rest of the world, too.
And I know there's a food stamps form asks not my race anymore, although Caucasian is in the middle. But it asks my nationality. We're like, why? I'm either legal or illegal. I either qualify because of my inability to pay for food or whatever, but not because I'm a certain group. This is the kind of stuff government does being there every day making laws.
Yes.
Rather than everybody.
But again, let me just hit us all on the head. I'm going to hit you, me. I'm going to hit everybody in here. Guys, we let it get this way. We may rag on our politicians, and they need to be ragged on, but we let it get this way. We as a country allowed government to get to this point. We never questioned it. The Medicare population increased every year, we never questioned it. Every government program increases, we never question it. And so now we find ourselves flat broke, we find that we're not working, and we're upset about it. I'm glad we're upset. I'm glad we've woken up. The biggest problem in America right now is people aren't working. And this president, I will tell you, is responsible for that. Because he didn't create the mess, right? He came into office with a mess on his desk, but he decided what to do to fix the mess. And he believes in government, so he said, I'm going to borrow $1 trillion, I'm going to take that $1 trillion, and I'm going to stimulate the economy. And boy, we're going to create jobs. That's not how it works. Reagan came into office with a big mess, every bit as big as the mess Obama had. You know what Reagan said? America's not working. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that thing called America, I'm going to get it out of the way. I'm going to cut people's taxes. I'm going to cut regulations, because Reagan believed that businesses out here in Elmhurst and Elk Grove and Schaumburg create jobs. And all I want my government doing is getting out of their way and letting them do their thing. And that's what Reagan did, and you know what? It worked. It worked. And the Democrats know that. It worked. You're not going to put this country to work unless the people out here have the freedom to work and the freedom to hire. You know, will's a separate issue. That's another problem. But at least free up the private economy to do their thing.
Right, let them make some money from their business.
It's a good thing in this country, Tammy Duckworth, to make money.
Yeah.
That is a good thing. I wish Mitt Romney would be proud of that. I wish Romney walked around every day in this campaign and said, you know what? Hold on. You know what? I'm real successful. Hey, you know what, America? I'm a rich guy. In fact, you might call me wealthy. That's me, Mitt Romney. You know what? I worked my butt off to get this way. And you know what? I want you to be rich like me.
Exactly.
You can, and I want you to be. I don't shy away from that.
Right.
Rejoice in that. We Republicans, should celebrate success. I celebrate wealth. I want everybody to be wealthy. I think it's a great thing when you make a lot of money. I want you to keep more of your own money. I'm not going to increase taxes on millionaires and billionaires. That's craziness. It's their money. They create jobs. Democrats don't get that. Well, some of them do. They just play politics. But for too long, Republicans didn't get that either. Yes, sir.
You bring up a very interesting point, because on the one hand, you mentioned that Democrats do understand that we're in a free fall economically. Like Durbin said, he knows that this Ponzi scheme can exist forever, but yet they keep doing what they're doing, and it goes down to what I believe is an ideology. The Democrats have gone so far left, and with Obama, they now believe in complete, absolute socialism. And they think, naively, that when they need money, they go for the top 1%, and somehow that top 1% will save the country. What they don't understand, if they confiscate 100% of all the money of rich people, it's not even a drop in the bucket.
They do know that, though.
I think, Roman, it's an interesting question. I'm asked this all the time. Don't the Democrats in Washington understand this stuff? My answer is no, a lot of them don't. I don't think Obama does. I know Duckworth doesn't. There are some Democrats that understand this stuff, and they know exactly what they're doing. It's their goal to have our free enterprise system crash, to make everybody dependent upon government, and then boom, I got you.
But then boom, where do you get the money?
There it is, Roman. Well, hold on a minute. You're forgetting one thing. Virtually every Democrat in Washington, and I would argue too many Republicans, they truly don't believe it's your money. So start there. They really honestly don't. Obama doesn't think it's your money. They believe it's their money. So if I got everybody crashed and dependent upon government, I'm just going to take more of my money. And we know they're not just going to tax millionaires and billionaires. They're going to tax everybody in every way they can. Some of the Democrats get this. Many know exactly what they're doing. But truthfully, many Democrats just don't get it. And that's sad. But you know what? A lot of the American people don't get it. There are a lot of uninformed, uneducated folks out there who don't understand this basic stuff. They've been raised in a country where it was like, who's the race car driver, the female race car driver? Danica Patrick. During this whole contraception, war on women stuff that the Democrats were doing, somebody put a microphone in front of Danica Patrick's mouth and said, what do you think about religious freedom or providing contraception to women? And her answer was something like, oh, I don't think about things like that. The government will take care of that stuff. Oh. This is the attitude. They've been trained this way. Too many Americans have. I interrupted somebody back here. Yes, ma'am.
What words of hope would you give to the small business owner who's been hanging on by a thread for several
My word.
Words of hope.
Here's my words of hope. Oh, God, hang in there. That's not very exciting, is it? Hang in there. Hang in there. Reinforcements are coming in November. Hang in there. I said during my last campaign that there are two groups of people that have a target on their back in this country because of this president. One is seniors. I really believe that. You know, to pay for Obamacare, guys, there's $500 billion in cuts to Medicare. Obamacare, he wants to replace Medicare. I fear for my seniors. The other group of people are small business owners. This president can't stand you. He detests small business owners. He wants to tax you out of existence. He doesn't. He really, really, truly does. When we talk about people making $250,000 or more, and that's who he wants to tax, those are small business owners. Those are small business owners. So hang in there. Reinforcements are coming in November. If I get my way, you get Republicans in Washington, and we do a few things. We repeal the estate tax in a day. We get rid of the estate tax. We lower the capital gains tax. We lower taxes on small business owners. And, you be quiet, we simplify the tax code. One great, simple, flat tax. Maybe look at the fair tax, but something. Real tax relief. We repeal Obamacare and all these regulations that are just holding you back right now. And we say to you, go do your thing. That all depends on the election. Yes, sir.
I have to say, a lot of people here are asking what for us is the obvious question, which is, why don't people, Democrats, or big government people see how untenable their position is? And what I found, being a clergyman and knowing a lot about faith and stuff,
No, you've got great perspective there.
these people have a tremendous faith and belief in the power of government. And that tremendous faith and belief trumps everything else. It trumps everything. The government will solve your problems. It will take care of you. The problem is the government isn't in a big enough position to take care of you, to solve all your problems. And I do not believe I'm in any way exaggerating what I'm sharing with you right now. I had a chance to speak with a good government person earlier today about Medicare. And, well, Walsh wants to cancel Medicare. And I said, well, reality is going to cancel Medicare. Oh, no. The government we will figure out how to say, well, first of all, it doesn't need to be said. But we'll figure out how to manage Medicare. Manage was the word that. So here's a person who has an undying belief in the power of government. Why? Because she faced some really hard times in her life, and the government helped her out and bailed her out. And she was the kind of person that we would want the government to bail out.
Let me stop you for a second, and then you continue if you want. Look, I have spent most of my life, before I did this, I was a teacher, I was a social worker, I worked in the inner city, I've done a lot of different things. I've tried to dedicate my life to helping those who need help. I just believe we do it out here and the government doesn't. I think we do it better. But even I know there's a role for government to take care of those who can't take care of themselves. Fair enough. The problem is we now have a government that does a lot of things for a lot of people, most of whom can take care of themselves.
Well, the line keeps moving.
But you know, but Father, I call him Father. He's not a Catholic priest, but he'll always be Father. We've been moving the line. We've been moving the line.
That's right.
We've let it move.
We keep moving the line, and what I mean is, one day you're only helping the absolute most needy everybody would agree to. Then you start thinking, well, what about this other group here? They're so close to being absolutely needy, why don't we include them? And in compassion, people say, you're right. Why shouldn't we include them? The line keeps moving. It's just like Rich. I never realized how wealthy I was until Obama came and told me I was so wealthy. You know, if they cancel the Bush, so-called Bush tax cuts, I'm going to be paying $4,000 more in taxes. I'm a clergyman, okay? My total compensation package is $78,000. I'm going to be paying $4,000.
You're a millionaire and a billionaire.
That's right. I am wealthy. See, the